girl. Stay. Now, Rosie just got dropped off. This is her third 50-minute or 4-hour drop off. And today we're going to be doing a lot of outside work. Maybe. It's raining out pretty bad. So I'm going to do about 20 minutes or so inside. I'm just checking up on her right now. So come. Good girl. Come. Good girl. Are you tired? You're 7 o'clock in the morning. Is this a tired time? Is this a little down? Stay. So we're just checking, making sure the customers are following through with things. So she just drove away. Come. Good girl. Down. Good girl. Stay. So, this is only a third lesson, listening off leash. Good girl. Sit. Good girl. Stay. So the only trouble they're actually having with Rosie here is a respect issue. Can be very sassy to them, and unfortunately, obviously does incredibly well for me. And so sassy to them. So our transference, so the next time I see him, it'll be a 50-minute lesson. We need to transfer the respect that she has for me. In fact, the owner was actually saying that if the dog is being really difficult, she just throws a video of me and the dog hears my voice and all of a sudden starts listening. That actually is one of the most common things. Or if I start doing the woogie woos, the dogs get all excited. Woogie woos. Hi, good woogie woos. Hi, the woogie woos. Hi, woogie. Oh, kissy. I'm gonna crush your head. Crush. So we are about to do our walk. And I'm just going to release her. So, good girl. And then I'm going to give her a command. This is just, so what this is telling me right now, by doing this, is I don't live with these people. Come. Good girl. Woogie. Come. Down. Good girl. This just lets me know that they're continuing with the homework. And they're not messing things up. So really, our issue now is to get the respect that for them that the dog has for me. So we have a little special today. My daughter's dogs are being babysat by me. And so we won't only have Pizzazz, down, good girl, but we'll have Nala and Zanara, and of course Pizzazz. So I'm just going to do it because it's still raining outside, yucky. Before I do that long outside walk with Rosie, I am going to make sure she can handle the other dogs. So we're going to do a little bit upstairs with my daughter's dogs and Pizzazz, and then we'll do some downstairs. Now, I'm starting on leash because the fact that, well, whenever you do something new with a dog, let me turn on a light here. Good girl. Whenever you do something new with a dog, you do it on leash because that is the foundation of control. Good girl. Down. Good girl. Down. Good girl. Hi, Nala. No. So, all I did, I don't mind that Rosie wanted to, hello, baby girl. Down. I don't mind that Rosie wanted to sniff Nala, but the thing is, it caused her to stretch. It caused her to move. Okay, let's move again. Good girl. We're going to use Zanara as a little decoy right now. Hello. Sit. Stay. Good girl. Oops. Sorry. Good girl. Stay. I know, so many doggies. Really, I'm just checking on Rosie's demeanor. I mean, she's a friendly dog. I'm not worried about that. But what I'm concerned is with all the extra dogs in here, is she going to get a little wild? Once again, let me turn on another light. And then let me turn on another light. There we go. Hey, I got flannel sheets. Good girl. Sit. Good girl. No, good girl. Her demeanor is so good with me. I need this demeanor to be with her owners. Pizzazz's bandana fell off. We'll have to put that back on her. I just want that demeanor, and I want the consistent demeanor of her listening and showing respect for the owners. Sit. No, sit. Good girl. You're a little overwhelmed right now. Good girl. Pizzazz. Come here. I need to get this bandana on you. Wooda whoosh, thank you. Good girl. So I'm going to have all of them go downstairs with me right now, and we'll see what happens. Pizzazz! Downstairs. Good girl. Pizzazz. Downstairs. Good girl. Good girl. Come on. Good girls. Nala! Sonora! Girlies, come on. Nala. Good girl. Good girl. Hello, hello. No. Good girl. Good girl. Sit. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Good girls. Good girls. So we are going to have a little puppy party down here. Sit. Stay. Good girl. You don't have to sit. Good girl. Stay. Stay. No. Stay. Good girl. Hi. Hello, you woozy woosh. Good girls. Oh, excellent. Down. Down. Good girls. Stay. Stay. You didn't have to lay down. Stay. Good girls. Good girls. Stay. All these dogs obeying me. Oh, look at you holding your head up so well. Stay. Stay. Good girl. Good girl. Hi, everybody's so relaxed. Stay. Stay. Now remember, my focus is actually on Rosie. If the other ones want to obey me or not, it is not important because I'm not giving them commands. Good girl. Sit. Sit. Good girl. Stay. Stay. Oh my goodness. Stay. Stay. Oh, you're such a good girl. Stay. Oh, no. Stay. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Oh, good girl. Come here. Good girl. Good girl. Woozy woosh. Come on. Sit. Good girl. Stay. And she was able to ignore this little house hippo sniffing her butt. Nope. Nope. Got to be straight. Remember my rules. Always got to be perfect. Even with a strange dog sniffing your butt. Stay. Good girl. Oh, come on. Heel. Come on. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my. You don't have to do this now. Good girl. Down. Down. Good girl. Stay. So, third lesson. Listening off leash. Other dogs in the room. Good girl. Her demeanor's there. Her training is there. It's it's just about getting her training more and more foundation, stronger and stronger, where she can ignore 3 other dogs in the room off leash. Oh, wait, she's already there. We still got 2 more 4-hour lessons, plus we got about 2 more 50-minute lessons, 3 more 30-minute lessons. But we're going to go out in the rain and do the hard stuff, major intersections. So we are just about a block away from my building. This is going to be a slightly wet, good girl. Sit, good girl. Traffic is going to get worse and worse. It is raining. It is a Saturday morning. We're going to see if we can get her to lay down on wet cement. Wet cement. Dogs don't usually like wet cement. We'll see how she does. Down. Good girl. Good girl. Oh my goodness. Down. Oh, good girl. Good girl. We did work on that a little bit, just so you know, in the last block. Before I had pulled the phone out, I have to selectively pull the phone out when I don't think it's going to get too wet, because obviously, let's speed it up. Come on, good girl, good girl. Woody, woody, whoosh. We're running across the intersection. We're gonna let her know I'm gonna stop. No, sit. Oh, good girl. No, sit. Now she moved a little bit. Everybody knows I've got to just gently. Good girl. Ugh. Good girl. Put her back. That's a neutral correction. So, because you couldn't see what I was doing because I was having to use 2 hands. The phone that's holding the phone, I used on their collar. Then I gently grabbed her butt, scooted her back where she belonged. She's a little nervous about the sticks. Exposure, exposure, exposure. You always hear me about stay like that. Little branch must have fallen out during the snow. So we're just kind of working on all that stuff. Good girl, stay. Good girl. Good girl. Down. Down. Good girl. Stay. Good girl. Sit. Good girl, and everybody knows one of my favorite parts of training is the loving. Good girl. So we're just doing a casual walk, like a real life walk. Major intersection. We got 14 seconds to cross it. Once we get to the other side, we'll do a little obedience. Just don't want to do the obedience in a street or on an intersection. Once again, the wet, wet, wet. So she was a little sassy with me on the last couple blocks in the sense of not wanting to sit on the wet. Sit. Good girl. Good girl. So we had a little discussion about obeying. Good girl. And now she's spot on. Sit. But I can see what the owners are talking about, where sometimes she gets defiant. She's a good little girl, but ever so often she says, make me. The problem with telling Uncle Chaz, make me, is Uncle Chaz will make you. Good girl. Good girl. Look at her. Such a good girl. We're coming up to another intersection, major intersection. Now remember, it is Saturday morning. It's only about 8 o'clock in the morning. It is raining. But regardless, people are out. You know what? I'm going to cross this way. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. So we're just going to get across the street. Good girl. Make her sit in the wet stuff. Sit. Good girl. Stay. Oh, there's my light. Good girl. Good girl. Hi, Wilburs. Hi, Wilburs. Looks like there was an accident up here. Part of a car. Good girl. Gijo, let's go this way. Now notice the way I communicate with her is I'm always making sounds. That's chitter chatter. She can't read my mind. She doesn't know if I'm going to all of a sudden turn left or turn right. My phone is getting totally wet right now, so I might have to end this video just so I can sit. Good girl, wipe it off. But she is, after her and I little discussion about not being sassy, she's been perfect. So we now have an opportunity to work on some grass here. She gave me a hesitation on this wet cement, but then she got through it. Sit. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Down. Nope, down. Good girl. Good girl. A little bit slow there. So what we're going to do, sit, as you know, is I'm going to love her up. I know you're wet. I'm wet. We're all wet. Yeah, I'm wet too. Down. Nope, down. Good girl. So we need to speed her up, getting her down on the grass. Come on. Good girl, good girl. Down. Nope, down. Good girl, good girl. So we'll just do sit, some repetitions, and then some making it playful, having some fun. Come on. Come on. Sit. Good girl. Down. Good. Nope. Down. Good girl. Oh, she turned. Everybody saw she turned, so gently. Good girl. I straighten her out. Oops. Get that out from underneath her paw. Good girl, good. Oh, you wooshy whoosh. Come here. Good girl, good girl. Come on. Good girl, sit. Down. Good girl. Down. Stay. So she knows the command. So just by repeating it. Now, I'm going to turn off the phone because my phone actually, I did this once before, but then the phone turned off because it got wet. It's just getting wet. It's going to be a hard lesson for me to do videotapes on, but what I'm trying to show you there is once the dog learns the commands, repetition, perfection, praise, those are the keys that you get the dog to do better and better and better then. So, seems like the rain is easing up a little bit. Still raining though. They said it's supposed to really ease up by 9 o'clock, but it's only about 8:15 right now. So we're passing the VA. She is walking absolutely perfectly. Remember, this is only her third lesson. Look how loose that leash is. One thing I have not got enough of in today, nice Jeep, is the love. Literally, because it's been raining so hard, it's been hard to manage the loving and the kissing because the phone just gets more and more wet because I'm not trying to protect it from the rain at all. So we're going to get under that bigger tree, so not this little half-dead tree. We'll get under that bigger tree, and I'm going to try to find a place where I can just kind of love her up a little bit. And I like to videotape her getting loved up because I want everybody to remember that is a major part of my training, the desire, the wants. I'm going to sit down on this cement over here. My butt's going to get wet, but I'm not videotaping my butt, so I guess that'll be okay. Oh man, my butt's going to get really wet. Oh yes, I know. Oh my God, instant wet. Hello, the wooshy whoosh. Oh, the wooshy, wooshy whooshes. Oh, the kisses. So I'm videotaping this because most of my customers, no matter how often I say love your dog up, or I say never underestimate the power of the kisses and the praise and the rough housing and dog fur in my face, wet dog fur in my face. But I'm still going to love her up, despite the fact that my mouth is full of yellow lab hair. It's so important that people understand. Hi, babies. Can I eat you, whittle? Are you want to? Oh, did you give me kisses? I love it when you give me kisses. And of course, I never know how well the phone is facing her when she kisses me. I always seem to guess it wrong. Kissing my hand. Oh, the woody woosh. So we needed to get this loving break in because we just haven't had enough loving breaks. Hi. Oh, kisses. Get your nose, got your nose. Mwah. Okay. So now we're coming up to, nope, good girl. She started to get a teeny bit ahead of me. So now we're coming up, ooh, handle that bus really well. We're coming up to one of the major intersections in the Milwaukee. This is 43rd and National. And the reason it's so busy is that actually one of the freeways actually ends right here. I'll show you that when we get closer. So we're just going to see how she handles this type of traffic, because most people, when they train their dogs or walk their dogs, obviously are not walking in this type of traffic. And this is a traffic at 8:40 on a Saturday morning, so it's a lot worse on a weekday. Good girl. But I only like to do my elite course 4-hour lessons in the morning, and she can only make like weekends, although she did make the 4th of July for me because she had the day off. So we're going to do a little bit of obedience here real quick. Sit. Good girl. Oh, she just sat so well. Good girl. Down. No, down. Good girl. Oh, yeah, wooshy woosh. Heel. Cross this one, make sure I don't get killed in the process. So you see the freeway, this is the freeway. It like literally ends right here. So these people are coming in at 55 and running red lights too. That person obeyed. So that's why it's so busy here, because the freeway literally ends here. I always love it when a freeway just ends, not with an exit ramp, but literally right into the streets. Sit. No, sit. Good girl. Woosh. Good girl. Let's make her do it on the grass too. Good girl. Sit. Oh my goodness. You're such a good girl. Ever since we did that little loving thing, she's perked up, and it's also raining less now. So between us not being as miserably wet, so we're gonna figure out which place I can cross. Never know. I'm just gonna push all these buttons. And so hopefully one of these will give me a walk sign. Good girl. You're a good girl. Sit. Good girl. So we just had a, oh fuck it moment, because nothing was changing. So I just timed it so that we didn't die a heinous death. Sit. Good girl. Now we got to cross the other way. Oh, they're giving me a walk sign. But like I said, this is on a like 8:45 on a Saturday morning. So this is a very busy intersection. They're all entering the freeway, and we're crossing the street, and she's doing a great job. I'm very proud of her. Like I said, the rain has died down. I mean, it's still raining, but not like it was before. We were able to get that good loving session in. So we're going to give her another loving session where my butt gets to be incredibly wet, because this time I'm going to have to probably, I'll sit on the cement right here. Yay. And I won't videotape too much loving, although I could videotape. Maybe I'll just kneel. Oh, no, I'm going to sit. Oh, good girl. Oh, get your woody woosh. Come here. Come on. Good girl. Here's your good girl. Oh, the wooshies. Hi. All these cars. You can see this is probably the busiest intersection or busiest place she's ever been. She's not even remembering to love me. Oh, you don't love me enough now. Oh, the wooshy woosh. I'm gonna force you to love me. I'm gonna grab the tail, woody woosh, and I'm gonna go to wooshy woosh. Oh, and I'm gonna itch the ears. Oh, look at that content look. I love you so much, little girl. Oh, you investigating? You investigating? Oh, come on. Good girl. Hi, Widow Wilbers. Hi. Oh, did somebody honk? You can see how distracted she is. So this lesson is going to be a really good lesson, simply because we're taking advantage. Big trucks, lots of traffic, all this congestion. She's handling it really well, but she is definitely, that's the International House of Pancakes. She is definitely having a focus problem. So we're going to do some training now. So, as I said, we're going to be doing some more training on these. This whole lesson is about a long walk with lots of major intersections, because I pass a bunch of them. This will be 43rd and Greenfield coming up. Just kind of letting her do this casual walk right now. But once the traffic starts coming, which it is, sit. Well, a good girl. See how quickly she sat? But you can see, no, sit. You see how she's a little bit nervous? So how many times can you guys hear me say it? Exposure, exposure, exposure. So like her next lesson, we're going to be down by the Milwaukee lakefront on a Saturday morning doing this. That should be nice and busy. But right now, even, you saw that little flinch she had just because that car went over a bump, or that pickup or whatever. Sit, I don't know what, but look how good she is. She's popping on these commands. Stay, good girl. But look how distracted she is. So I'm talking to her, I'm praising her, I'm petting her. Down, good girl. Stay, good girl. All these cars, she's getting better and better. Sit. This is where that exposure, heel, this exposure comes in, because by giving her all this exposure, it's desensitizing her to the point where this stuff no longer is a concern to her. And that's what most people don't realize is you can't teach a dog to live, work, and train or listen in difficult situations if you avoid difficult situations. No, she started walking a little faster than me. And that's what a lot of people do. They only train the dog where it works. And so they're not benefiting the dog. They're not progressing the dog's training. Getting a little ahead of me. No. Good girl. Sit. Good girl. Gonna wait till we get, up, starting to get a little bit more cars showing up. Good girl. Good girl. Definitely taking advantage of all this. Good girl. Good girly, girly, girl, girl, girl. Are you the girliest girl in the girlyverse? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. I'm gonna make her sit, stay right on that little area right there. So she's getting already better. This is just the next intersection. She's already getting better at ignoring stuff. No. Now I guess got to concern myself with people coming this way, that they look to see somebody walking, because I've had cars almost hit me in pizzazz. They don't pay attention. Good girl, good girl. Actually, I've got a walk sign, so we're gonna kind of jog it a little bit. Good girl, good girl. This will get her excited, but then I'll make her sit over here once we're not in the middle of the intersection. Good girl, sit. Oh my God, she's really doing well, but you can see she's distracted, and the only way she'll ever get over distractions is to be exposed to distractions. So this is just going to be a quick little video with the traffic and everything. Really, this is let's see, major intersections we've only gone through, like the Greenfield one, the National one, but we've come across a lot of these smaller ones like these, which are actually still pretty busy on a Saturday morning, because they're still 43rd Street, but they're not like the major cross sections. They're like Burnham and Mitchell and stuff like that, but there's still a lot of people, a lot of traffic. And I just wanted a quick video of, see how she's starting to, no, it's easier and easier to get her attention back to me. No, good girl. When before, literally, her eyes were darting, oh yeah, hi, her eyes are darting all over the place. She still obviously needs a lot of work with desensitizing, but she's becoming a lot less jumpy. Sit, good girl, hi, a lot more attentive. But this is what I'm talking about. You see how she's looking around, looking around, looking around. Like the last couple lessons, when we were doing it in my home, in my yard, in my house, she was far less distracted. Now we're out in public. So I always tell my customers, no, sit, good girl. A lot of my customers go, Chasma, she listens so well in the house. Then quit frickin' practicing it in the house. You practice what they can't do. You practice what they need to learn. You don't practice what they can do. Teaching college kids 2 + 2 is 4 is not going to help them. Good girl. No, no. So sit. Most of her work now, and that's why this elite program is designed, where each of the 4-hour drop-offs gets more and more difficult, more and more distractions. Like I said, her next one will be on the lakefront, and the one after that will be out in the state forests. We'll have her listening off leash in the state forests, you know, with the deer and the squirrelies and the chipmunks and the other such wildlife type thingies. The turkeys and stuff like that. No. Good girl. Sit. You're the woody woosh. You know what? We are long overdue for some lovin's. Just with the rain, it is not conducive to the amount of loving I would usually give a dog. And so I am going to go out of my way to just stop what I'm doing. Oh, kisses, and give her some little itches on the butt. And oh, you like the butt itches, don't you? The little butt itches, and grabbing the tail. Good girl. Hi, you the woosh. Hi. Hi, woody. Oh, good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Hi. Hi. Snuggle up with me. Look at her shedding all this wet fur. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, that was one kiss. Oh, yawn. Oh, itch the ears. Oh, the itch the ears. Itch the ears. Oh, belly rub. Oh, belly rub. Oh, the belly. Oh, the whoosh. I love you so much. Good girl. Good girl. Oh, the woody whoosh. Oh, the wooshy whoosh. Oh, look at her, so happy. She's used to a lot more of this during training. But, you know, it's, like I said, it's not raining as bad, but still sucks. It still sucks. But now I'm getting the little kisses and everything, and the kisses and the belly rubs and the, oh, the squirty, woodies. Oh, she had surgery. Oh, she's healed up really nice. You've healed up really nice. I got your toe, you widow. Oh, the goody girl. Wooda, woosh, kisses, get the woody, woosh. Come here. Hi. Hi. Oh, you come all the way up. Oh, yes. Good girl. I love you so much. Good girl. Good girl. So, this is 43rd and Lincoln. We have only one more real major intersection after that, and that'll be 60th and Lincoln. So what we're doing right now is, I'm not actually going to give her commands. What I want to show is her eyes are darting less and less. That last time a bus passed her, her eyes are darting around less and less. She's more comfortable with this. Once again, getting back to that concept of exposure. So all I'm going to do on this video is I'm going to cross this intersection and then cross it again so that I end up on the corner. Make sure this vehicle doesn't hit me. Okay. And so we'll cross this one first because it's got the... I always love it when the loud pickup trucks and the big vehicles go by. Good girl. Good girl. So I said good girl, she looked at me. Her eyes are darting around way less than the last several intersections. So exposure doesn't have to be for for years and years and years. I mean, you just got to do it. You got to, do it. That's really what it comes down to. Sit, like that car just blew, or that truck just blew on past. And she's so much more comfortable now. Oh, another green light. Hey, we finally timed this correctly. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Excellent. So even with these vehicles coming in like this, she's not like focused on them coming towards her, or all these cars zipping up from behind her, which would usually spook a dog. But in just the intersections we've already had, we've had great success with her. So we've run out of sidewalk. So we're gonna get a couple of tests here. We're gonna actually, for the next block, have to walk against traffic. Of course, like I said, we're not at the busier places now. This is Lincoln. Good girl. So we're gonna see how she handles cars coming directly at her. It's not like there's gonna be a lot of them, but we can already see some coming. But the other thing I wanna see is railroad tracks. If she's never been on railroad tracks, how is she going to handle them? So, no. You're going to see me using the preventative no. No. You're going to see me using the praise. Good girl. No. Got the one vehicle coming in fast? No. So when she's looking down at him, when she's curious about him, I'm just making sure that she's not scared, terrified, or fearful? No. But at the same time, I'm controlling her from bolting over them or sniffing them or allowing that to be a distraction. Once again, 2 more cars went by. So this is just kind of, not everything you expose the dog to is going to cause a problem. But it never hurts to try. So those railroad tracks, you can see the only thing that she wanted to kind of sniff them and stuff. So unlike a lot of dogs where they're like when they go over a sewer grate or something like that, they don't want to go over it. They panic. They hit the brakes. They try to go around it. Obviously, she could not go around the railroad tracks, but she really didn't care. Now, I don't know if she's ever been walked over railroad tracks. That'd be great. We'll be going over another one in about a mile and a half or so, but she didn't really seem to care. But I did want to bring up that whole thing about exposure. We can get off the street for at least this little drive pad here. Then we got that little, like, 150, 200 feet, and then we'll be back on sidewalks. So I guess what I'm saying is exposure. It doesn't have, if you expose a dog to something, a lot of traffic coming, sorry, you don't have to expose a dog to a lot of stuff, but, let me try to rephrase that. No, she wants to drink some water. You don't have to, if it doesn't distract the dog, let me put it that way. If you expose a dog to something and it doesn't distract her, that's fine. That's good. It shows that all the other stuff you've exposed her to, it's starting to offset. A perfect example that I tell a lot of my customers is Lily, the predecessor to Pizzazz. Her and I were hiking the Appalachian Trails, and literally we came across, we see where that fire hydrant is there, we came across about a 300-some-pound male black bear. Now, I quietly snapped my fingers, of course, as you know, my dogs listen very well. She laid down. She was behind the brush, so the bear couldn't see her, but I was standing. I was too nervous to even try to hide because half my body was available for this bear to see. Literally, we just waited till it wandered off. Now, as I like to tell all my customers, how many black bear scenarios, how many times have I exposed my Lily to black bears? Well, the answer is 0. But because I've exposed her to so many things and I've made her listen in so many conditions and I've trained her in so many conditions, to her, the black bear was just another condition that she just applied the training to. And that's kind of how training works. You get so much exposure, you get so much distraction, you get so much training that eventually everything just falls into place. Good girl. Nope. Sit. Are you a good girl? Are you the widowish girl? Nope. Sit. I didn't say stay. That's my fault. Stay. You're the widow. I love you so much. Oh, yes, I do. I'm going to chew on you. Nope. Nope. Sit. Stay. Good girl. I know you want to... You want to just keep on going. It's not raining anymore, though, so you can start to see it's clearing up a little bit. I mean, just ever so often you feel a little drizzle or something, but unlike how this lesson started where we were both soaked within just a few blocks, we're doing well now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just letting her rest a little bit, relax, and get some love. But then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stand up. We've done a lot of exposure work to the traffic and the intersections and stuff like that. And you've seen me doing a little bit of obedience training on the wet cement and stuff like that. So I'm going to be a little bit more casual. Good girl. I'm just going to stand up. I'm going to walk around. I'm not going to give her commands as many as usual. I just want to see how she handles it. I'm going to not put the leash in my hand. I'm not worried about her taking off. She's well trained, even though she's only had 3 lessons like this. Oh, hi. So this is kind of what training is about, is real life. Obviously, we're going to get to the point where we can do this off leash and stuff. Now, remember, she's not under a command. I'm just kind of moseying around on this little grassy area and seeing how she handles it. Good girl. Good girl. She's being respectful. It'd be nice if she went to the bathroom, just not on her leash. I might give her a command. Down, down, good girl, down, good girl, stay. I just felt like doing it. Good girl. Come. Good girl, good girl, good girl. Sit. Okay. And then we're just going to kind of, you're released again. just kind of, because this is what real life is like. When I hike with Pizzazz, believe me, I'm not on a heel command. I'm not on a foot command. I'm not saying come or sit or stay. I'm just kind of doing this. Of course, she'll be totally off leash, which we will be doing some with Rosie on her 5th drop-off lesson. But you notice I just stopped. I didn't tell her to sit. So when a dog gets to this point, that's kind of what people want. That's why people hire me, just to get the dog to the point where it's good 24/7. Too many people focus on only getting the dog to train or listen a half hour a day or when it's on a leash. And so they're literally teaching the dog it doesn't have to listen the other 23 and a half hours a day. That's another great benefit of these elite program is 5 of these lessons are 4 hours long. So she's really learning that she has to be good all the time. Aren't you? Can I grab that leash? We're going to continue our walk now. Okay, so I wasn't going to tape right now, but see this sewer grate? We approached that sewer grate. Remember how I just was talking about railroad tracks and then all of a sudden I talked about sewer grates and how a lot of dogs are scared of things they've never been exposed to. We got to this sewer grate and she lost her shit. Good girl. Good girl. She was like a fish on the end of a fishing line. She was thrashing around. When I finally got her to go over it, she literally jumped it like a rabbit. She refused to touch it. No. Good girl, sit. It was like everything I had just talked about. So it only took about a minute, but what I did is I made her do it. In other words, she said, make me, and I made her. And I made her do it a few times. And then when finally she stopped fighting me and she did it, I just loved the piss snot out of her, so basically we're teaching her 2 + 2 is gonna be 4. Do you want an A or an F? Do you want a gold star and a smiley face or an F and a red check mark? And then you saw, just so within a minute, her completely freaking out and losing her shit over that. And then all of a sudden, now she was sitting on it. You notice I started this video with literally her sitting on it. If I would have been videotaping when we passed it the first time, it would have been, you would have been like, oh my God, how are you going to ever get her over that? And 1 minute later, no, I got her over it. No, good girl. Starting to walk a little too fast, so I wanted to slow her down. Sit, good girl. Okay, so we're just at our last major intersection. We are on 60th and Lincoln. She has not a care in the world. So really this video has only one purpose, that before and after, I mean, you go back to that first video, which is about 3 hours ago, and we were getting soaked in a downpour. And now you look at her and, whoops, we're not gonna be able to make that. Good girl. And now she is completely, relaxed, despite all the stuff that's going on. Good girl. So I just wanted to get that before and after, and this, lot of traffic. Now, this isn't usually this, it's not usually busier than the other ones, but of course now it's going on, it's over past 10 o'clock while it was closer to like 7, 8 o'clock with the other ones. Good girl. Sit. Just a comparison. Good girl. Do you hear that beeping? Oh, I was wondering what was beeping. It was that bus. Yes, that bus was all beeping. Once again, great chance for exposure. Once it stopped beeping, you notice she lost her interest. Good girl. You the wobblers. We got sewer grates. We've got railroad tracks. No, good girl, good girl. Got a barking untrained dog. Good girl. Good. Nope. So she has no fear of the railroad tracks. Good girl. Just curious, huh? Cars going over the railroad tracks kind of spooked her a little bit. That's once again all talking about that exposure. All about that exposure. Good girl. Right over a sewer grate. You the bestest in the westest. Good girl. Good girl. So Rosie and I just got back from our very, very, very long, wet walk. And so what I'm doing right now is, as you know, a lot of times my training involves not giving commands. It just goes based off of a dog's reaction and how they're doing. I will give her some commands, but there's a purpose to what I'm doing right now. Good girl. Hand signals. Good girl. Good girl. I'll explain it in just a second. Come. Good girl, good girl, good girl. Come on. Good girl, good girl. Get good girl. Get the would you whoosh. Get the would you whoosh. You a happy girl. You a happy girl. Good girl. Good girl. What I'm doing right now, is we're going to talk about the whole purpose of exposure. She's not under a command right now. She's only had almost three of her 4-hour drop-off lessons, just 3. She didn't start her training until she was 9 months old, and she was pretty much out of control at that time. So she's only been getting actually trained for 2.5 weeks, maybe 2.5, 3 weeks, maybe some small amount of number like that. Around 3 weeks maybe. Because training is designed to go beyond what you need, because training is designed to expose you to situations that are unrealistic, all of a sudden when you get to normal stuff, it gets really easy. Come, down, good girl. Example, normal stuff. Most people, okay, you're done, good girl. Most people would consider a dog listening off leash in the middle of a come command, stopping and laying down, as not ordinary stuff. But when you train with me, when you train a dog properly, that is ordinary stuff. I get people all the time who call me and they say, I'm looking for puppy training. And I'm like, well, isn't sit mean sit whether your dog is 8 weeks old or 8 years old? I mean, it's not a puppy sit, it's a real sit. It's a wiggle sit. When you train a dog properly, what happens is you're actually training the dog in situations that are worse than the real life. And this is the example I use with all my customers. When a customer brings me a dog, they want the dog this well trained. When they bring me a dog, the dog is this well trained. They want the dog to be this well trained. I want the dog to be this well trained. Now, why would I do that? Well, think about it. If a dog is trained beyond what you need, even on a bad day, it's still above what you need. But if you only train a dog to what you need and it has a bad day, you have a problem. Your dog could get hit by a car, dog fight, whatever. So what I consider ordinary stuff, off-leash training, listening to commands, being calm, being respectful, not being obnoxious, giving me kisses whenever I want kisses. And you can't do that if you limit yourself to a kitchen with a treat in your hand. Somebody's tired. Are you a tired little girl? Too tired to even look at me? Good girl. Oh, you can do it. Oh, good girl. Oh, so tired.